It's really late, way past my bedtime. But I did want to do a bit of a recording and almost just a log about my difficulty in cooking today. It's hard to know how to explain it, but I got this new pressure cooker because my one I had before doesn't work on induction. So I began, to read the instructions for that, and a page or two in, I was just completely drained and fatigued, and I was just thinking I didn't have the energy to read this and learn how to use it, and cook as well. Part of me needs to, I don't know, I'd imagine with other people they'd probably just have a rough idea of how to use it and just use it, but for me it feels like I need to read the instructions. There's lots of anxiety about doing something wrong or putting myself in danger or something, all sorts of things. So it feels like I need to fully read it and know how to use it safely and correctly, and I didn't. After reading that, I just felt, or failing to read it, I felt just really affected my mood in not being able to do that, and also I was trying to figure out the recipe I wanted to use to make it, and there isn't really a fixed one online. There's for making like lentils, there's so many different videos and obviously different pressure cookers, and I just couldn't make sense of it in my mind. It's really hard to explain, but I was kind of running through in my head, okay, what do I need to do? How many sort of whistles do I need to wait? Or I think what doesn't help is I haven't been able to read the instructions, so so that's making things more muddled and confused in my mind. But I mostly just wanted to sort of acknowledge the difficulty in just learning something or struggling with that, something that I don't think not that I don't think I should be struggling with. Part of my mind thinks that, but I guess it just feels like a simple thing that most people do. They get a new appliance, they read the instructions and they're good to go, but it just feels wrong that I'm not able to do that, or it just feels like it feels confusing, and I know a big part of that is not being able to see my health for the way it is. Again, it's that not having a clear perspective on my health and my limitations. It's that kind of blind side where it doesn't acknowledge. It's sort of how can I word it? It doesn't take into account sort of health challenges. So it's quite not very compassionate. So I've got the lentils soaked at the moment in a saucepan. I'm hoping, I soaked some this morning, and I'm hoping it will still be okay by tomorrow. And yeah, I just feel a bit out to sea in even using my intuition to figure out how to cook tomorrow. It's a bit of a trial and error, I think. I don't think there's but maybe I'll start with just trying to read the instructions first if I'm able to. It just feels like such a drain to try and wade through that. But yeah, it feels like these things feel like almost like a bit of a fall, like a skateboarder going down and they have a tumble off and just trying to recover from that. In some ways it feels like such a simple thing, but at the same time these simple things are a challenge and difficult for me to do, and I just wanted to record and acknowledge that because maybe this will help to be a bit more compassionate. Instead of just feeling down that I wasn't able to do what I wanted to this evening. Another thing, I think part of my mood is that I just end up in another YouTube sort of rabbit hole. I was watching a podcast about UFOs. I don't have a strong interest in it, but as I was listening, I was curious more about the technology and the recent stuff sort of coming out. And his podcast was Bob Lazar and another guy, Jeff something, I think, and it just seemed interesting. And after that, for some random reason, I think it's just my mind not wanting to go to bed, and when my mind is in pain or stressed, then in some weird way it wants to cause itself more pain. I ended up just watching, I don't know why, just randomly put in shark attacks, and I think I might put in something to do with chimps. Maybe it's to do because the podcast I was watching, chimps are always mentioned on it, and I'm really bad with sort of dead animals and that kind of thing, so it was like the worst things to watch, especially the chimps videos, hunting and ripping apart other animals. And I don't know if it's just some way of causing myself pain in that, still my mind's in that mode of the disappointment this evening, and now I'm just and this has been happening for years actually, when maybe it's a mix also of just trying to also soothe the pain, where I end up watching reaction videos. I think I've mentioned this before. Maybe that's something slightly different but also similar. I'm trying to soothe constantly. In this one it's the opposite. I'm almost trying to cause myself more pain. But anyway, I'm just going to try and get myself to sleep and just try and be present as I go to sleep tonight, and just be grateful I got myself to bed at this time, because at its worst, I remember watching reaction videos and then suddenly the sun's coming up. I've been there for 4 or 5 hours longer. And that's probably the worst point, when I've just not been able to control that. But now it's 11:30, I think. And I didn't sleep great. I got up early this morning, so hoping I get a better sleep tonight. And yeah, I'm sure there'll be an update on this whole cooking thing, and hopefully I'll fare better tomorrow and just try and take things step by step, just read the instructions, and just take things as I can. And of course, the worst case scenario, um, it, it's not edible and not able to eat it, and then I've learned, okay, I need to add more water, or I need to cook it longer, or maybe I'm saying it out loud and it makes sense, but in my mind it doesn't feel. It feels like it's a terrible mistake. I can't afford to make a mistake with the cooking. It's too painful. I've got to get it right the first time. But I don't know. But yeah, I'm glad I was able. I wanted to record this earlier this evening. It was just such an effort to record, and I'm just glad I'm able to just try and put something on record or as a log about this, because I find a lot of challenges with my health. Either I forget about them or I don't acknowledge them, and I feel it's useful for me to just have some perspective on my health and what's challenging me right now. So, recording this in some way, like right now, this is the modality of me journaling, is through videos. It's writing is challenging and draining. There seems to be, even though talking is really hard and difficult, but it seems to be something I am able to do at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to listen to some more of the audiobook, Silka's Journey, just to try and relax me for a bit, as I find that when I'm stressed and I get into bed, I just feel like I need to almost acclimatize to, getting ready for sleep. So yeah, I'm going to listen to some of that, and yeah, hopefully get some sleep.